Guys, today we're going to show you how to add Apple CarPlay to a Porsche Macan with the fitting bay integration module. This is a 2014 Macan with the PCM 3.1. We're going to go through the full installation, show you everything you need to add Apple CarPlay to the original radio. If you're not sure what PCM version you have, just head over to the www.shoptfb website, fill out the contact form and we will help you out. But otherwise, let's get right into it. Guys, to get the factory radio out, what we need to do is remove this panel right here and this one right here, which will expose some Torx bits and you can remove the radio. We already removed this panel here, but just to show you, you need a tool like that. It has a hook on it and you're gonna get in behind the vent and pull. It's the only way to get it out, okay? If you pry on the panel here, you're gonna damage it and or break it. So you need to have a hook tool like that, pull right back on it, and then the panel will release from this side first, and then you can bring it out that way. I'm not gonna lie, we spent a good amount of time trying to get this out, so some cars are easy, this one was hard. Okay, now we've got this side out, so same thing, hook in the middle, hook underneath, and then what you wanna do is get the hook behind here, pull, hook at the top, pull, it will release those clips, and here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Torx 30 bits, and we'll remove the radio. So to get the radio out, you're gonna have to turn the ignition on and get the gear selector out of the way. Okay, so there's a few plugs on the back of the radio there. We had digital radio, media, something else, antenna, GPS antenna. We can pretty much just pop them away so they don't scratch anything. Turn the ignition off so the battery doesn't die. And we're gonna go set this up on the bench. Okay, for the wiring side of things, you've got the Wi-Fi antenna, so screw that onto the module. You've got a little small blanked out AUX plug. That needs to go in the center console into the AUX port. Okay, so that's gonna pretty much activate AUX on the car, so that needs to be plugged in. Pretty inconspicuous, it's out of the way. We've got a USB, so you can run that wherever you want. We are going to run it into the center console and then run the LVDS down to the module and plug it in. You've got a plug and play harness which goes right here. This is nice and easy. Now this vehicle does not have a fiber optic amp input here, which means all you need to do is plug it right in. Make it look hard first. Plug it in, and that's it. If it did have, or if you do have, fiber optic on the right side here, or the left, doesn't matter. It's just two little clips, and you pop it down and pull it out, and you need to transfer it into the new part of the quad lock, okay? In the same position, so that it goes into the radio. If you don't, like this car doesn't, forget about it. Then, you're going to unwind that, okay? Now, this will plug into the radio, the original radio that was in the car. And this are gonna run down towards the module, and we'll show you what we're gonna do next from that. There's a little extension cable in the harness that you're gonna run along with it, like so. Boom, that's gonna run down. And then lastly, the AUX input, so that's gonna send sound out from the module into the AUX of the car. That's gonna go on that harness we just plugged in. You've got audio output, boom. We're gonna tape all this up as well. And then on the new quad lock section you just did, boom, that's it. So we're gonna tape all that up, make a nice loom, run it down to where we're gonna fit the module. We've got a microphone to fit as well, so you can put that wherever you want. It's got a little clip, if you're gonna clip it somewhere, go for it. Roof lining's a good option. Behind the dash here is good, whatever you want. And the power. So this is accessory power, and this is on the harness that tees out. There's a fuse box right here, and I'll show you where we're gonna connect power. But for the radio side of things, in the plug and play section, that's pretty much all you need to do. It's not too bad. Alright guys, next up, the fun part, we're gonna add this little circuit board to the original radio. So to do that, what we're gonna need to do is remove the screen from the back section. So So there's just 4 screws top and bottom, and it slides up and out. Be very careful, there's a ribbon cable on it, or 2 ribbon cables. We'll remove those ribbon cables, get the screen off, and then we can go ahead and look at adding the circuit board. We're probably going to time lapse most of this. If you have any questions, just drop a comment in the comment section down below, but we'll get right up to it. Alright guys, once you got the screen off, these are the 2 ribbon cables that were going to it. There's 1 screw here, 1 screw right there, and 1 right here. And I've already added these little extensions. Whoop, there goes one. I've already added these little extensions that come in the kit. So you remove the screws, put the extensions on, and basically the circuit board will sit on them. Just like that, okay? Let me get it in there. Just like that. And then you use the original screws to screw it back up. The 2 ribbon cables that were coming from here will go into the new board. So 1, 2, and then it comes with 2 new cables that will go from the board out to the screen. And that's pretty much how to do the board. The last thing on the board, there's a little plug on it right here. That has LVDS, just pinch that. So you'll run that, plug that in, make sure it goes the correct orientation, it only goes one way. And then you're gonna run this out behind the radio. So that will go into the module. All right, once the circuit board is done, before you go too far, what you need to do is just come back and see that you've got image and touch working. Okay, so we've got both of those things working. Awesome. I don't think the module's plugged in, so that's not gonna work. That's fine. As long as we've got this working, that's all good. Now we can continue on with the module, and then we can start doing some testing. Beautiful. All right, so a lot of our wiring is run and tidied up. So we've got the CarPlay USB. We run that into the center console. You can run it wherever you want. Microphone, we've mounted behind the steering wheel. You can run that wherever you want. The LCD out goes to the circuit board we did on the screen. And then you've got power, Wi-Fi antenna. That's pretty much it. There's 1 extra cable. So we've run that up along here and right over to there. And that's the ignition cable, okay? So just make sure that it gets ignition power. And then what we want to do is turn the ignition on. Screen boots up, that's perfect. Okay, give it a sec. And we're going to press the Navi button. And it's just switched us right over to the interface just by pressing the Nav button. And then here we have the new interface. Okay, so from here we can go home. I can grab an iPhone cable. I don't have my fucking phone, of course. So we'll go ahead and plug our phone in. And here we have Apple CarPlay. So what we'll do is go through and make sure we've got sound. Beautiful. And what we'll do is we're going to go through some settings as well and make sure, you know, put that over to the right side. Porsche logo's all good, so that's pretty much the only setting we need to do. And then this also does wireless CarPlay. It's not just wired, but I just test with wired. We'll mount the module. There's a bracket right here we can mount it to, and then we'll go back together, get some photos, and the job is done. So I'll show you when it's all complete. Guys, that is the job completely done, finished. Everything is in and working. We've got all the original stuff working as it should. So basically you've got your original PCM here. You can still listen to the radio. You've got your phone, all that sort of stuff will all work. We've got AUX selected here, and we're gonna hit Navi. It's gonna switch us into CarPlay. So we've got wired and wireless Apple CarPlay. You've got CarPlay right here, so you can scroll through Spotify, Waze, Apple Maps, Google Maps. If you have an Android phone, you can also use Android Auto as well. Factory reverse camera. So you go into reverse, it'll bring up the camera. You've got to have the park brake off, of course. And then get out of park, and it brings you right back into Apple CarPlay. Any music that you play, so you can see we're playing some music right now.
I know how they think.
That'll go right through the sound system. You can make phone calls, go through your messages. all that good stuff. I'm sure you know how Apple CarPlay works. That is the system. Module is on our website, www.shoptfb.com. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and catch you in the next one.